Lucky Podcast. Honora boys, we are in the building. Happy Monday to everyone out there. And we are brought to you by Honora Whiskey. It is HonoraWhiskey.com. That premium American whiskey, HonoraWhiskey.com. You can find us on X, Instagram, and TikTok at Lucky Lefty Pod. Subscribe on YouTube. Make sure you hit that thumbs up because it helps with the views. And after this big win against Boston College, take you a nice glass of Honora. And when you do it, we want you to make sure that you indeed do it
responsibly.
Let's get it left. SD2 Mike Sean Davis. That dude, the original Lucky Lefty himself, Malik ZAIRE. Courtesy of Bleav Network, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify audio edibles. Check us out. Presented by FanDuel. Go to FanDuel.com and you can download the FanDuel app. We finally have something to talk about in terms of Notre Dame as they go on the road to face off against the Boston College Eagles.
Yes, sir.
This Saturday. Big time rivalry. It's always been a big time rivalry. It's a lot of Notre Dame fans left that still harken back to that excruciating 1993 loss at the hands of the Boston College Eagles. And I teased last week that Notre Dame, respectively, before USC, where, man, it got up to 10.5 before kickoff. The two games prior to that, you had 20.5 and 21.5 point spreads. And I said last week, this next game is going to be even bigger than that. And as it sits today over at FanDuel, the Fighting Irish are already installed as a 28.5 point favorite over the Boston College Eagles. 28.5 points.
Good grief.
And this is the crazy thing. The over-under is only 56.5 left.
Oh. So we doing all some more.
That basically. Yes, man. That over-under is crazy. Crazy.
Yeah, it is.
So you can find that and more over at FanDuel.com and download the FanDuel app. You got Georgia, Florida this week, bro. You got Indiana going up to Maryland. You can check that out at FanDuel. You got some interesting games. And this is where the Big Ten and the SEC get into the heart of their schedules and they begin to become cannibals.
Yep.
It's cannibalism at its best. They begin to eat upon each other and to knock each other out of. Yeah. Let me tell you something, man. Can I be honest?
Yep.
I don't think Brian Kelly is the only coach on Saturday that should have been fired in the SEC.
Oh.
I'm gonna keep it a buck. Because I've seen what I saw with a 10-point lead in the fourth quarter. I've seen that happen way too many times. At South Carolina being led by Shane Beamer. I've seen it too many times, bro. It's almost, for the last 3 years, all we've heard, this is their year. This is their year. This is their breakthrough year.
You heard that?
That's yes. True. Like, dude, you're not going anywhere with him at South Carolina. It is what it is. Undisciplined football. Just when they get up, mistakes. Oh, it's the same Groundhog Day over and over and over again at that program. Now, the expectations are super low. Super low. So maybe that's why he continues to survive. But you want to talk about somebody that has underperformed even with those lowered expectations in comparison to Georgia, Alabama,
Yeah, like
LSU.
where are they expected to be though? That's the thing.
I don't know. But you can't give away
They have
games
the
like
same
that.
they have the same expectation as Missouri.
You know what else is weird, bro? Andrew Luck is the general manager of Stanford, correct?
Yep.
Why is he on the sideline acting as if he's an analyst, assistant coach, bro?
Yeah. He's like
It's just
general manager
very,
and whatever I want to do on the sideline.
it's just very weird. It's weird. It's all let the coaching staff, let Frank Reich and his guys coach.
It's like they handed him the keys to the whole program or something.
Man, it's just very weird, man. And I'm not shunning him for it. I'm just saying it's just weird. And maybe he is expanding upon or bringing a new era of managership into college football. But it just comes across to me as very weird, just being in the
Yeah,
midst of the
so much
players.
over the whole thing. Like,
Yeah.
where
Now,
have you ever seen that from a former player? This isn't like a aged AD or collegiate administrator. This dude is a former quarterback that y'all have basically let run like a peewee team. I don't even think you get that much control in high school situations. I mean, he's controlling from picking the players and basically in the camera on the sideline, coaching the players, cheerleading. I mean,
it's
what
just
else?
weird.
It's weird.
It's weird. And then on top of that, because I guess he's trying to be the Stanford version of Michael Irvin, not
And
as
he and
charismatic.
he like dropped 50 million on the NIL fund or something like that. Like he did something
Like you
funded
could
the
drop,
NIL thing too.
they can drop all the money they want. If nobody wants the money, it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
If nobody wants Stanford's money, what does it mean?
He's like if Jerry Jones played football, it would be Andrew Luck. He just all in the program. Like, but I do think that in the state of where college football is, I'm not surprised things like this happen. I mean, the NIL's getting crazy. The coaching is Deion getting blown out on prime time, and then
Well, that's his fault.
Andrew Luck's crazy thing, and then just all the firing being as frequent in one season as it's been. I've never seen this many coaches fired in the same conference.
You know why though?
Season.
You know why though?
I don't know. I've never seen it.
No, you know why though? See, this is what happens when the schools, the ADs, the school president, AD, and the coaches were all screaming for expansion. What expansion does is it puts more pressure. It takes away all of the excuses. Lane Kiffin doesn't have an excuse not to make the playoffs anymore. See, Lane Kiffin used to be able to say, yo, we're Ole Miss. You talking about we got to beat LSU, Alabama, Georgia, like just to get in the 14 playoffs? Like, dude, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Now it's 12 teams. All you have to do is be one of the top 4 teams, Lane. There are no more excuses.
Yeah.
The excuses are gone. And since the excuses are gone, it becomes much easier. And I don't think that, remember you said somebody was going to offer, jokingly said, man, what if they offer Marcus Freeman 10 years, 150? Nobody's offering 10 years anymore, bro.
No.
Those days are gone.
I mean,
now the AAV may still be up to 12 to 15, but 10 years, 10 years, 90 guaranteed, like Brian Kelly got? No.
Brian Kelly got a good agent.
Yeah.
Because it's crazy because he'll get another job. Look at all these jobs that they just shuffling. You know they hire the same people everywhere.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Lucky Lefty podcast. So today we're going to hear from Marcus Freeman, who spoke to the media. He talked about what they did during the bye week and downtime. They got plenty of rest and plenty of rest and reflection, which I think is absolutely amazing for this team. The bye week came at a perfect time to push them into this November push. Marcus Freeman historically has been really good. His teams have been really good in the month of November. So that bodes well. The rest of the schedule that lays before them is very doable. They should be able to accomplish their goals and sit 10-2, waiting to see where they're going to be slotted in the 12-team playoff. It's as simple as that. And so now health is a concern. Billy Schrauff will be out. I think Billy Schrauff will probably miss a couple of games. He'll probably miss 2 games, come back for the last 2, and then get ready for the playoffs. Ashton Craig, of course, lost for the season. Gabriel Rubio, once again, he'll be out this week. They won't need him against Boston College. Honestly, I think they could beat everybody on their schedule without Gabriel Rubio and Billy Schrauff.
Yeah.
They really can. They really can. You just want to see your guys come back, get healthy, and at their best going into the college football playoff. So we'll hear from Marcus Freeman. Left, we're going to hear from you what exactly you want to see offensively or defensively coming out of the break. And I'm sure the film breakdown you did all last week on the 3 shows we had was absolutely fantastic, especially offensively. So go watch that because I'm sure CJ Carr is going to be one of your things you're going to point out what you want to see from the young redshirt freshman coming out of the bye in the break. If you don't put Mike Denbrock in there, I'll put him in there because I definitely have some things I want to see.
That's right.
I definitely want to get to that. But we got to start the show with some very interesting news that came out of Baton Rouge on yesterday evening. I had a long day in the city at the edifice we call Chicagoland Christian Center.
That's right. They got a lot going on in Chicago, man.
And we had morning worship, typical morning worship. And then, we had a birthday concert. If, you people out there are not familiar with Chicago or South quartet music, it's like the original gospel music. It is literally the blueprint that James Brown stole and took it over to the R&B side. When you hear James Brown, you are hearing gospel quartet music. That's basically what it is. He took that and took it over to the secular side and became James Brown. Added some little dance to it, some little flair and flavor. And so we had a Chicago Quartz Gospel Quartet concert being held at the edifice. I leave the building at about 7:00, and I'm totally oblivious to everything. And one of my friends texts me and says, yeah, I guess Brian Kelly couldn't survive it this time. And I said, what? And that's when I went to social media. And boy, oh boy. Look, man, even former Notre Dame players are up at 7 a.m. fighting each other. 7 it's too early for all of that, man. It's 7 a.m. We out here in the Notre Dame streets busting shots at each other.
Yeah.
Over a dude that gaslit and played everybody.
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing? What are we talking about? Just dropping dimes on each other, being disrespectful to one another. For what?
7 a.m.
7 a.m. That's wild. That's wild. Left. I was on the Peloton texting you, dying laughing. I was dying laughing. Like, dude, do you see this?
Wasn't even awake that much yet.
Like, look at your people. Get your people, man. Get your people. Unfortunately, man, that's what this news did to everyone.
Yeah, it did. I mean, it's crazy how it affected, you know. But that's
Multiple fan bases, yeah.
Brian Kelly's a polarizing guy. He'll land on his feet. That's his specialty. He just know how to just land in the place to be and get a lot of money out of it. I mean, his resume, guys. So he's just one of the few coaches left that doesn't use personality as his top resume trait to win over these schools and fan bases. You know, he in there to do a job, man. I mean, he's his age for a reason. He ain't James Franklin that's gonna bow out gracefully and say we gonna keep fighting good fight and all that. Brian Kelly gonna be like, what? Oh, okay. I'm gonna just collect my chips and peace out and then land somewhere. You know, he always got a plan. So I wouldn't worry too much about BK. However, you know, it just shows that the times of where college football is, it's just changing. You know, and in the mediocre uh, ability of the head coach can't be there. You know, you can't golf no more. You gotta be you gotta be jumping on them planes and then them recruiting circles and all type of stuff now because like you said, the years of 10-year contracts where you know grow up watching a coach and then you go through the ranks and that coach is still there by the time you ready to play for him, that's over with. I mean, that's an era. You know, Dabo's one of the few left that a kid could grow up watching a Deshaun Watson and end up playing for the same coach Deshaun Watson played for at the same school. That the Nick Saban left. Brian Kelly getting shuffled around. So the coaches you like now are not going to be there if you're aspiring to be there in the 4 or 5 years period. You're not going to grow up watching the Lou Holtz, you know, when you're young and then going through the ranks and being recruited by him. It's not happening. Or if it is, even the high powered coaches like a Urban, maybe a Kirby in the next 5 years if he stay in place. I mean, they in and out. They hit fast, get out of town. So even your favorite school might be hot for a second. And it can fall off into this what we see as a bottomless pit for some of these teams because where do they go? Where does a Florida go? Where does a LSU go? Where does a uh, um, uh, what's this coach I just forgot a team. But where do these coaches go? Where do these teams go for coaches? Because if you aren't giving out 10-year contracts no more, that means the administration got to work a little harder. You almost got to get a GM for your administration to source coaches. If you're going to be cycling through coaches every 3 years, because that's the demand of what winning is telling you. And then the coaches that are in demand, they trying to hold on to their little motion they got at their school. Like Elko got to think, like, man, I'm kicking butt at Vandy, but if I make a jump to another school, I can be gone in 3 years.
You mean Clark Lee? That's Clark Lee.
Clark Lee. Elko too. Now it's not too many places that are better than Texas A&M. I mean, you know, you can say that. Maybe a step laterally, maybe a slight step up, but there's not too many. But a guy like Clark Lee, for prime example, he's probably the most underrated, sought out individual right now because Vandy's a great launching spot. Everybody knows you're not going to stay there forever. But then you're like, do I even want an LSU gig right now? How hot it is? How hot it is for a Florida gig right now? I mean, we talked about that with the general manager at Texas Tech.
Mm-hmm.
Did he want the Chad Bowden pressure coming in?
Much easier down at Texas Tech, bro.
Yeah, he said, listen, I'll just stay here and we'll get a good ranking. We don't gotta be top 10. If we make the playoffs, great. If not, I'm still here. LSU, shoot, you gotta worry about hanging on the coaches. You just won the Heisman 2 years ago. Yeah, and then your Heisman coach left. And you got a contract to be there for 9 more years. So you like, oh shoot. Penn State. Where does Penn State go? James Franklin, like, look, I was out here just gasping for air. It was no place I could really go. What could he have really done? He had really, literally, quite literally reached the max potential and was just like a public school teacher in tenure. You can't get fired. You just kind of stuck in a situation. You can't really make it better. How could James Franklin have made it better? He got fired over losing to two or three teams in a 50-game time span, probably more than that.
No, come on, Left. Let's be honest.
He lost a lot to the two teams.
And if he had lost to those two teams this year, first of all, he lost to Oregon.
Which a ranked
at home. No, it's different, Left. They spent the same amount of money to bring back their players as Ohio State did the year before.
Yeah.
They used the same formula, expecting the same outcome.
Yeah, that's where you went wrong.
And they put a little bit too much sugar in the Kool-Aid. You ever done that? You ever done that? Like you turn your head and the sugar kept going and you're like, oh, snap.
You ran into that problem. Too much
money.
Right,
so now you're like, do I add more water? Do I pour some out, add more water to dilute it a little bit? Like, no, bro.
They threw too much money around and had people up there spoiled in it.
Well, they
had to get rid of players. They had to get rid of the coach.
Ohio State was bringing back. Look at the players Ohio State was bringing back using that NIL. And Penn State used some of that money to bring back Drew Aller. That's enough said right there. Yeah. That right there. You bringing back that dude at quarterback? Okay.
Yeah. Look, Texas may be on the docket too. Because Sarkisian got to keep his it's about reputation for these fringe coaches. A Dan Lanning, a Sarkisian.
Did you hear?
He's like, listen,
copping, please. Did you hear him copping, please?
He said, I'm trying to make a turn to the NFL if I could.
Listen to Steve Sarkisian copping, please. Listen to this.
It's really hard to recreate our culture every year when you're bringing in 30 new faces from other schools who have learned a certain way. I can bring in 5 to 10 every year, and I can get them assimilated to our culture because it's so strong. But the moment you start going higher than that, whose culture is it, right? Or am I getting some other school's culture? Is it ours? And I think about guys like Cole Brevard. I think about guys like Hero Canoe. I think about Emmett Mosley, who now they're making our culture even better because they've bought into it, they've grown within it, and they realize the power of it. And so there's a fine line.
Steve, I don't want to hear nothing about the transfer portal, bro. You are the state school.
Yeah.
In one of the most fertile high school football areas. And your recruiting area extends beyond the Texas borders to the east, to the west, and to the north. Man, if you don't stop. And the resources are endless at Texas. You still have your own network. I believe they're the only school that has their own network inside the conference. What are you talking about? Once again, Arch is just not that dude. We can just keep it real simple. Arch is not the dude you thought he was going to be. that impacts your team.
Sark probably knew. I mean, Sark been a
Your
football coach a long
your
time.
defense is
The
still
media
physical.
suffocated him with that.
The excuses, the pressure is really on these coaches, and you're starting to see it, Left, because the excuses that they are coming up with, the way they try to lay the foundation to keep their jobs, the way they point the finger at other things other than recruiting, development, and game day coaching, because that's what it comes down to. That's what it comes down to. You're talking about we can only take 5. You take 30, then you can't recreate the culture. If you take 5, okay. Notre Dame does 4 to 5 every year. So, I mean, what are you talking about? Notre Dame's already figured that out. But you don't need to take 30 kids. You're Texas. You're Texas. You should be founded and built on the solid rock of high school recruiting. That should be the foundation. Point blank. But it's just amazing, man. It's amazing when you hear these coaches, they are really nervous. Man, Sark almost lost to Mississippi State this weekend. Left.
Yeah.
Down 14 in the fourth quarter. And then the miraculous happened. They tied the game up on a punt return late in the fourth, winning in overtime. He knows he was due. He was that close to some conversations being taking place, or some conversations taking place amongst the boosters and alumni.
Yeah.
When I read Ross Dellinger's piece with Yahoo Sports saying that the collection plate was being passed around the suites at the stadium on Saturday night in the third quarter, I said, that's wild. That's wild. That's wild.
Yeah. And it just shows that, the stage is getting bright in all aspects of college football. So, when they start throwing that money around, people very serious. You see the gambling, even gamblers, the low-level gamblers, how serious they can get. So what do you think a coach or an alumni booster club paying $90 million is thinking about a head coach going up there talking about, well, it's hard out here to create culture when you're bringing in all these guys. They're like, what do you mean? I spent $40 million on the roster, $90 million to keep you here for 10 years. And you keep talking about it's hard to do this, hard to do that. That's why it's this and that. That's why you losing by 5 points. It's like, what are we talking about? So, yeah, that's pressure unless it goes back to resetting the market and expectation. And that's why a guy like Jeff Brom, the Georgia Tech head coach, some of these guys are like, I like little Georgia Tech's motion. We can just win these games under the radar. I don't have to. If we lose, we lose. But winning, we're going to storm the field every time. That's the perfect formula for a coach that wants to stay in it on the verge of. But when you talk about the top echelon, people, Kalen DeBoer's head was on the chopping block for losing 2 games last year, let alone the other 3. So he had to make the jump this year. He would have been right in line with LSU, and Alabama probably would have played with 2 new interim coaches by the time if Alabama was looking like LSU, that matchup between each other would have been played between 2 interim coaches. That's how fast things are moving.
It was looking real shaky in Tallahassee week 1 too, bro.
Oh my goodness. Oh my
It
goodness.
was looking, woo, it was looking shaky for Coach DeBoer.
That's his second season there.
Man, it was looking
Hey,
shaky.
now Brian Kelly been there 5 years. We talk about Caleb Boy's second season, first game. Second season, first game. They was like, man, we finna kick this dude so far off. Think about that. Yo, we talk about nothing's worse than Deshaun Foster. That's 15 games and getting cut like that is just incredible. But Alabama, I mean, crazy that same team that beat Alabama and Kalen DeBoer in the same season, 6 games later, they look abysmal and Norvell's on the chop block. Look how fast that turned around. They start the season. They ready to put Kalen DeBoer on the stake.
Mm-hmm.
Fast forward 7 games, just 7. And now Kalen DeBoer looking like Nick Saban Jr. and Denzel, or not Denzel, but Coach Norvell they ready to get rid. He is hiding from that Florida State administration every day. He is avoiding that. Hey, come here, let me talk to you real quick. They got Brian Kelly out walking to the tunnel. They ain't let him escape because he hop in that car and whisk off to the Wonderland. They said, no, we don't catch you before you hit that locker room. We'll see you on Sunday in my office. They got him early. So they trying to catch you. So Dabo is fighting a good fight, but hey, listen, all these firings, the dominoes is falling. The only thing saving Dabo is that he went the ground up, the cheap route. Hey guys, we're not gonna spend this money. Hey guys, he kept the alumni pockets at bay. That's why he was able to survive the storm with Cade Klubnik. Because he said, look, I'm gonna try to make it work without the cash. Okay, we'll let you hang around longer for that. So he got to go through the struggles of losing, but they're gonna keep him around because he ain't pressing in pockets yet. Kalen DeBoer, I'm telling you, it's crazy. Norvell was just in the ACC. They talking about, we got robbed of the championship. We had all this going on the next year. Abysmal. He on the chopping block. Come out first game. Turn the whole thing around. They talk about they got the cameras in the locker room talking about don't give up. We can't take the rat poison. They had drank 2 bottles of rat poison. Just 7 games later. He unfired the offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator. He about to get let go. It's just crazy. It's just crazy. You got guys like Cinetti. I feel Cinetti. I wouldn't leave for nothing. Why would I leave? It's crazy. His paycheck done, conversely done jumped up fast. Where he's like, shoot, Indiana, the greatest place ever. Why would I go to anywhere else if they letting guys go like that? And I got to go through the struggles of restarting recruiting, refiguring out transfer portals, trying to hang on to coaches, pay these players ridiculous amounts of money just to come on. Doing that. I'm at Indiana where we got money. People just don't know. And I'm a good coach. That's the place to be. He shouldn't leave nowhere. Indiana was like, look, we're going to pay you quick. I'll take it. I don't want that Penn State pressure. What are you talking about? I got 3 games to turn it around. Think about it. LSU, Florida, Penn State. Right now, you got about 5 or 6 games to turn the whole program around and get into the playoffs, or you're going to be fired. UCLA is looking for a coach.
I think Cignetti has to be shown you're not going to get it done in Indiana. Like he has to be shown. Like, because I think in another 2 or 3 years, the powers that be are going to find a way
They're gonna find a way to get him.
to once again have the money impact or have the money be more at the top tier schools, giving those schools advantages like it used to be
in some way.
in some way. And when that happens, then like the first thing is closing, only having one transfer window.
Yeah.
That, right? That's going to be difficult.
Now they
right?
doing mid-season transfers. They really doing mid-season transfer portal.
That's a lot. Because at the end of the day, life is undefeated, bro. The internet is undefeated. Life is undefeated. And man, and their history of greed and lust, especially in business and money, always rears its ugly head. And I guarantee you, college football, the top schools are going to find a way. You already see it in the TV negotiations with the Big Ten. You already see USC feels like we're a top brand. We want more of the pie. Ohio State and Penn State were starting the conversations last year. So if they start divvying up more money to Ohio State and Michigan, and Signetti is going to be there like, yo, they're going to be like, dude, you're Indiana.
You're Indiana.
You're Indiana.
You don't even have a name to even argue.
Ain't nobody coming to see you, Otis.
Yeah.
That's literally that's literally Ohio State, Michigan, and Indiana. We don't care how many games. I don't care how many games you won. Ain't nobody coming to see you. Yes.
Ain't nobody.
You're not pushing the national envelope.
Right. Nope.
You're not hitting numbers like that.
You're having a flash in the pan.
And things like that are the only thing I can foresee that might force Signetti to feel like he can't get it done at Indiana if he doesn't get it done this year.
He just got paid.
Well, we do, bro. Let me tell you something. I just watched the governor of Louisiana make a decision about a head coach in college football. Bro. Money is no object, bro. Money is no object.
He said, we got to step in. This is affecting our state budget now.
Man.
You paying this man.
Money is no object when it comes to getting rid of.
That's why they can't let go of Deion, because Deion did more than football. Yeah, stimulate that whole area. So they like.
No, someone from the, I forget the name of the paper out there, said he literally has added to the economy of Colorado.
Ain't no letting go of that.
Well, if he has one, they'll give him one more year because they know Juju is coming next year. And I applaud Prime for not putting Juju in, saying nope.
No,
I'm gonna let you marinate. Caden Salter can go out there and stink it up. We're okay. We're okay.
Because I know I'm gonna be back, so I need something to be back with.
Exactly.
We ain't ruining this. We ain't ruining this. I see where it's going.
And if it doesn't go well with Juju, then we might need to have a conversation. Yeah, we might need to have a conversation. But I'm gonna put a nice little bow on my thoughts on this unfortunate firing for the LSU fan base. Notre Dame fans, a lot of us tried to forewarn LSU fans, and they called us, bitter. It was just the bitter X. Okay. All right. And it literally went down the same things he did at Notre Dame. He did, like he wasn't around for the hiring of assistants. The first time he would meet assistants that were hired is when they were actually hired. Like the same types of things that you would hear. He would have this fantastic all-world offense, and the next thing you know, the defense is awful. 2015. I mean, it's literally nothing changed. So if everything was the same in two totally different locations, one with an independent and one in the confines of a conference that is considered the best football conference in all of America, then it can't be anything else other than you. You embarrass Notre Dame players on the sideline. You embarrass LSU players on the sideline. You embarrass Notre Dame coaches on the sideline. You embarrass LSU coaches on the sideline. It's like you're the issue. And everyone out there that's trying to just give a quick synopsis of it as if, oh, he's a butthole. Now, that's in that discussion about his negatives. Okay, he's a butthole, but he's a good coach. No. It's a lot more than that. I'm not going to allow you just to put that in a Ziploc bag and throw it in the freezer. No. He would never, ever get another high-level head coaching job in college football.
You don't think so?
That's my prediction. Who? You talking about USC, Michigan, Notre Dame, LSU, Alabama. Penn State's not about to hire Brian Kelly. Are we serious? They're not about to hire Brian Kelly. Florida. Do you consider Florida a top-tier program?
Yeah, but I mean, one of those teams are going to grab him. I mean, who else?
Penn State is not. Dude, do you realize the stories for 2 straight big-time programs? The same stories exist. The dude doesn't want to recruit. When he needs to recruit, he's in Florida on a golf course. If Penn State hires him, they are dumb.
But what is LSU then?
Nothing's going to change.
But what was LSU?
What are you talking about? LSU has won 3 national championships with 3 different coaches.
They had to be dumb then if they didn't.
We told them they were dumb. Did we not, Left? Did Notre Dame fans not say, you're being dumb? He's going to do the exact same thing to you that he did to us, which was he gaslit. This is the funny thing. He is one of the most narcissistic gaslighters I've ever seen in the coaching ranks. He literally tried to convince the school. I'll let you speak for the players. He literally tried to convince the school, the media, and the Notre Dame fan base that the best they could do was to get to the playoff. Because the money, the resources, and the players are not at Notre Dame to win a national championship. Those were his words as he exited and went to LSU. You should be ticked off, Left. He's talking about you.
No,
you should be ticked off. You and the rest of the players that played for him should be ticked off. You know why? He didn't give you all 100%. Because if he had actually interviewed the top guys and got the right defensive coordinator, you might have a national championship, Left. If he had actually done his job to the fullest extent, like a head coach is supposed to, you might have a national championship. Other players might have a national championship. I can't say the word. He have ASSED'd it, Left. That's what he did. And stole money and then blamed the players. That's what he did. So everybody that played for him should be ticked off. Everybody. Because while you all were giving everything you had, he was giving it 70%. And probably was getting double bogeys while he was doing it. That's true. I'm mad for the former players because it was hard to believe You felt like he was fugazi. But now that we've seen it at 2 places, we know for sure he's fugazi as a head coach. He's absolutely fugazi. Fugazi. How do you go run the same play at the next stop? I can understand you getting away with it at Notre Dame. Haven't won since '88. The fan base was happy after the Charlie Weiss era that they got to a national championship. They were winning 10 games. They were getting to a playoff every 2 to 3 years. I can understand feeling like, oh, man, woo, I finessed them. But you thought going to the SEC, where the previous 3 head coaches at LSU all won national championships, you thought you could literally run the same play in the SEC? You thought you were going to convince LSU that the best that they can do was to get to a bowl game and blow Purdue out? You really thought they were going to fall for that? Dude, the governor got in on it, fam. The governor of Indiana, I don't even know who he is. He might be a Purdue fan or an Indiana fan. There's no guarantee he's even a Notre Dame fan. His connection is to the state schools, not the private institution in South Bend. The governor said, man, this is enough. Hey, yo, this is enough.
Yeah,
he's narcissistic. Oh, he's narcissistic and he's a gaslighter. He's narcissistic and he's a gaslighter. And now it's evidence left. It's on tape. The tape doesn't lie. That's what we say, right? He's on tape, bruh. He's on tape. Who's going to hire that?
He's always
at a top tier school.
LSU hired it. He was on tape.
No. You understand? He blamed Notre Dame. See, he had an alibi.
Oh, you said in negotiations with LSU.
Yes, for LSU. He's like, no, it's not me. No, not me. It's them.
Yeah.
It's them. He gaslit LSU. It's them. It's not me. It's them. It's Notre Dame. It's Jack Swarbrick. It's the players. It's the administration not showing money. It's the facilities. We don't have a chef. Remember all of those things he pointed out? He pointed out everything that was wrong and why he couldn't win. And it got to LSU and was worse on the field at LSU. Look, man, there's no look. I'm not a betting man, but he will definitely get. First of all, Virginia Tech will be a perfect place for him.
Oh man, I think he'll do good at Virginia. I mean, he's a good coach, man. He's a good coach, regardless of what people think, because his resume is hard to accomplish. That's a hard thing to do. You go from Cincinnati to Notre Dame, stay 10 years, get to a championship, become the winningest coach, then jump to a program to get a Heisman out of it, couple first-round guys. His resume speaks for itself. He's going to get a chance somewhere else. I think Virginia Tech, he'll go and win 8 or 9 games, have some success. I don't know. I mean, it just depends on what you consider a success. He's just unapologetic about how he moves. He's not.
Okay. Explain to me. Because when you say that, when you say he's a good coach, a coach that doesn't want to recruit is not a good coach to me. You have to explain that to me.
He's not a he-stand coach. He's not like Zach Martin went on there and said he stands one of the best coaches. He's the reason for everything, this, that, which is true. I've seen it.
Right.
He's not he-stand coach. He's a coach, though, as a program builder. And I think that from that aspect of he's going to put the right guys in place. He got us a Matt LaFleur. He got us a Denbrock. Mike Sanford, okay, but at that time, it was a collaboration thing. He got us quote unquote a Tommy Reese. He's got a resume. He can say, okay, I put a lot of guys on. However, his thing is similar, in my opinion, to a James Franklin. You don't beat these few teams in prime time, no matter how many games you win. It's just not gonna look good for you. And unfortunately, Brian Kelly's like he's no different than these evangelical pastors. And what do you think about the evangelical pastors, SD? Are they successful men of faith? Or are they questionable men that, I guess they're faith driven, but they seem to do a lot of unscrupulous things as well. He's an evangelical pastor. You're gonna be like, dang, how you get a streamlined jet? You supposed to be feeding the streets, feeding the people. You got a streamlined jet on this ranch with these exotic animals, and
that's literally. It's funny you say that, and I'm
Brian
going to.
Kelly.
I understand what you're saying. Basically, if you're a leader and a shepherd, your heart is for the people. I won't sit up here and say if God's desire for somebody or his divine plans for somebody to be blessed more financially, if that's not for me to debate. I just know as a leader, your heart should be towards the people. So literally today I woke up and I was riding my Peloton left and I had the news on and literally heard something and got on the phone and called my wife in LA. And I said, babe, we got to get a program starting this Sunday because a lot of people in our community are about to lose SNAP benefits.
Oh yeah, that's
I'm not. I say I'm not about to sit here and debate and get on TikTok and scream about who did this and who did that. The Democrats, Republicans. I'm like, dude, we're in the community. We're a solution. Let's start making plans to be a solution. That's it. What can we pass out? What can we do on a weekly basis? How can we get the word out for people to be able to come and be blessed so we can be a solution in a time of need? And that's it.
Yeah.
And ultimately, a head coach should be like that.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, that's my point. He's not what people would want, like the superhero vision of that position. Because there's villains as well. I wouldn't necessarily call him a villain, but he's not, I'm trying to be a man of the kids and da-da-da. It's like, I'm going to give you this business model, and if you just do everything I say, we can pass through and people can take advantage, or you don't take advantage. But all is in the system I'm building, which is just a way of doing it. Because I think that for the people that were successful under Brian Kelly, they look at it the same way. It's more of like, he gonna give you an opportunity to make something of it, but it's very independent of yourself. Like, you got to make it happen. He's not gonna guide your hand. He's definitely going to eat off of the success. You know what I mean? But you can't look at it's like it's like doing well in spite of him. It's like doing well to earn. It's like a den of thieves. Like, do you really want to earn the respect of the top thief? Or is it like you gonna do well and he gonna give you respect because it's just, one of those things. It's like he's well respected for what he's accomplished, but you're not trying to like use him as a mentor. You're not like, how do you become this? You don't become that. But the success that you get that's up there is driven through yourself, which is opposite of a head coach. The head coach supposed to, like Lou Holtz, it's like, man, guys still talking about Lou Holtz 30 years later. And Lou Holtz may have similar approaches to coaching that Brian Kelly has, but everybody knows Lou Holtz is coming from the heart. And that's why everybody is connected in that way, because it's like, okay, he may be yelling at me, but it's genuine, which is a way that some people respond. And some people, okay, it felt like my dad I never had. Brian Kelly's like, hey, I'm saying this more for me, but it'll help you if you listen to me. Like, I'm gonna tell you this, but shoot, take it or leave it.
I'm gonna share this story. It's my grandfather, my grandfather is the most disrespectful person in the world, bro. And when he said something to you, you felt disrespected, but in some strange way, you felt his love.
Yeah, it's a
you know what I'm saying?
strange,
so I understand, it's like Harry cussing you out in the moment, but he's cussing you out and making you feel like you're learning something, and he loves you. It's weird, right? Like, I'm cussing you out because I love you.
Yeah.
You know
I'm never gonna tell you I love you, but I'm gonna feed you every day. I'm gonna take care of you. I ain't telling you I love you ever. I don't care if it's the best thing you ever done. I'm not gonna acknowledge it. But I wouldn't call it tough love, because he's, like you said, he's a narcissist in a huge way. It's like, even if you're successful, that's why I think was the biggest thing with him, and why it could never be the crossover, is for, like, example, Dabo could relinquish some of that stardom and that face of everything when he had those players that deserve it of it. He gonna call Deshaun Watson Michael Jordan and say, if you don't pick him, it's a shame, and he's Michael Jordan. He gonna do that because he understands that, okay, I gotta pass some of this off. Brian Kelly, you get a situation where you may have a Trevor Lawrence or something, he's gonna keep that under wraps in a weird way. You're gonna have to do everything to outshine him for him to be like, okay, this is my guy. You know what I mean? But it's funny because, like, a Kyle Hamilton situation, Kyle Hamilton's not boosting up Brian Kelly and saying he's the reason for the season and all that. But guess what? Brian Kelly gonna be at draft day. Brian Kelly gonna be sitting right in there draft day with the green suit and the pin. Yep. Oh, that was me. But the same Brian Kelly not gonna be there when the kid messed up from whatever situation on the team, heartfelt situation. He ain't gonna be sitting at the bench. Even with, I'll give you, this is who Brian Kelly is. When I got hurt, I'm distraught, messed up. Oh, this is everything, Opportunity, which was go in there, console your guy. So it's the big moment for him. Looks good for you. Mom's there. Nobody, real heartfelt moment. It's an opportunity to look good. Hey, Malik, this your team. Woo-de-woo, we gonna do it for you. Get to the hospital after the surgery, everything. Come in. Hey, yeah, you should have threw it out instead of ran it. You probably wouldn't have got hurt. Last time I seen him until I got back to practice, right? So it's like, that's just who he is. You know what I mean? It's just,
and he probably was trying to be funny.
Yeah, no, but I understand. But that, that you gotta get it to get it. You know what I mean? An average person would have been like, man, this da 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 da. But you understand what he means, because that's just who he is. He's like, look, this is show business. The one monkey don't stop the show. Yeah. We gonna keep rolling through the thicket. He had a kid die on him. SD, a kid died on the football field, not related to the team in a car accident.
I know.
He died in practice under the watch of the head coach.
I know.
So if he can survive that at Notre Dame, SD.
I understand.
I would never expect. That's what I'm saying. We give too much expectation to the man. Like, he's supposed to be good. He like, look, I'm trying to survive out here. I don't care if he literally cut every single one of his friends off the staff, SD.
I know.
I'm talking about lifelong. We coached every single year from start to finish.
Okay, let me ask you a question. I'm going to go over
every single one.
I'm going to go over the top 10 teams over the last 20 years, Left. The top 10 teams over the last 20 years.
Oh,
And you
man.
tell me, are these teams going to hire him? You tell me, right? Alabama's not going to hire him. They have their coach. Ohio State's not going to hire him. They have their coach. Oklahoma might have an opening. Do you think Oklahoma's about to hire Brian Kelly?
Man, listen, this man survived for years after
Okay.
he had died.
So
did you ever hear the story? Did you ever know this is what's crazy? Did you
You're
ever
making this man sound like a certain politician or a certain
No,
politician
man,
that have photos on people to make sure he keeps his jobs. That's what you're trying to make him sound. He is from Boston, so you're trying to make him mafia right now. That's what you're saying.
Bro, we gotta tell this story because y'all not because I hate to see how they get on my man so tough. But you gotta understand the type of guy he is. Like the man, let's say, okay, it's all conditions of what they are. The man falls off the thing, right? The man still trying to run practice, SD. The man, you know how you get hurt and they talk about move up,
move up and get him off the field.
They did with the dude that fell off. It was move up for a second until the players was like, wait a minute, this might be for real.
First of all, let me stop. I apologize because first of all, it's not a laughing thing. That's number one.
It's not a laugh, but I'm just
no, somebody lost their life.
It's
I want to make sure. But when you talk about his lack of empathy, bro.
Yeah, this man is not. He is
his lack of empathy. It has to be something. It has to be something in what you are describing, Left, that people like. So now I have to ask the question: is there something wrong with us that we keep finding a way to hire this?
It's the fact that people like results. Like Coach Kelly can only do
what results? What results?
As it's no different than a resume that's filled with a bunch of fluff. It looks really good for a lazy. I mean, this is why when we talk about there's no longer going to be these 10-year contracts because you have to be able to. In this fast-paced game, the way college football we're moving, you got to be able to just look at it for what it is. He's able to survive through comfort, right? You got 10 years, you do what you got to do. At the same time, you can't keep it that way. You got to produce championships. And unfortunately, he's at the point in his career where that model of just making it to the playoffs is good enough. For him, it's not good enough. And his resume is easy for administrations to hire because it's well merited. You know, you're the most winningest coach. You got all these consistent 10-win seasons. You went to a championship. You got these list of first round and NFL players and this and that and the third. It's hard to deny that for an administration that just wants to be decent. That's why Virginia Tech, I think, will be great. You know, it'll be great to go over there. But this
is the thing, Left. He could have. Well, no, he could not have had because he tried to run the hustle. He tried to leverage LSU to get more money from Notre Dame. First of all, let's be honest. He tried to leave Notre Dame on an every 2-year average, whether it was another college or the NFL. And just facts.
Openly doing it.
Openly tried to leave Notre Dame every other year.
Openly doing it.
Until Jack Swarbrick finally called his bluff in 2021 and said, oh, go ahead. Go ahead. And he tried to run the same hustle that he ran for over a decade at Notre Dame And it was cool. See, you can run that type of hustle at Notre Dame because Notre Dame puts everything before football as far as the school. They tell you,
Right.
the school, we football doesn't go before this brand, academics. They're open about that. They're open with their recruits about that. Open. That's why you salute Marcus Freeman for how he has worked tirelessly with Jack Sporbrick, Pete Pavakwa, and the rest of the administration and the teachers, everyone, to change the atmosphere that was bitter and abrasive between those parties with Brian Kelly, which is why he couldn't get the extra things that he felt he needed. All of a sudden, Marcus Freeman just comes in, brings everybody in to this one big communal hub.
It's like,
and all of a sudden, here comes the NIL money.
Exactly.
Here comes the transfers. Oh, can I get this kid, this recruit in? I know he's a little bit under, but can now teachers are loving him. Teachers, what do you need, coach? Now, former players, Joe Montana shows back up. Joe Montana's recruiting kids, taking pictures at the last game. That wasn't happening with Brian Kelly. Why? Why wasn't it happening? Former players weren't welcome back. Why left? Why left? You've been back more under Marcus Freeman to campus than you ever were, and you played for the man.
That's because under Brian Kelly, it's like the Godfather. It's just a lot of underhanded backstage going on. When Marcus Freeman came in, it was like Shrek or the Lion King. Like, everybody loves it. Everybody's engaged. It's just a heartfelt, like you said, a hug. Everybody wants to come back and see it. They still showing the Lion King to this day. With Brian Kelly, it's the Godfather. It's like, when stuff goes down, you walk into the building, all the lights is off. The only light is on is his office. When you're like, why is it so quiet in here? It's like, of course, it's not welcoming to come back.
With Brian Kelly, it's like Goodfellas. Yeah, it's like Goodfellas with Brian Kelly, because just when you think you're about to get made, they walk you into this room and you get shot in the back of the head like they did Nikki. Just when you think
I'm gonna throw you under the bus in the media,
right?
I'm gonna be
leaking exactly
journalists,
exactly,
because I can't take the blame. But you might catch me a couple times turning up on you. Because I'm really like that. You might catch me on the sideline, cussing the guy out. You messed up, right? You done messed up, right? He gonna hit you. You want to be there, but when you leave, you're still a part of it. You know what I mean? And then Brock said, I'm gonna leave. He came back to the family. He came back to the family for a year, got made man, got a Heisman, and left the family again. One of them things. He brought the whole family, all the friends and family, the big Kelly family going on. What happened? He cut the whole family off. Everybody had to go somewhere else. He got, he got his little foundation set up. He's gonna have that. That's the the pizza spot, the laundry mat. That's where he go. Bring in the football 1-on-1. Bring in the cat. This man's smart. I need to raise my leverage. I need to talk to these Eagles over here. I need to talk to the Jets.
I'll say it again. He will have to work himself back up to the top of the totem pole in terms of college programs. I understand your premise. I understand you saying he is like a cockroach. He will survive. He will survive an atomic bomb. We've seen it. You pointed out plenty of examples. At some point, people learn their lessons. At some point, fool me once,
do they?
Shame on you.
Do they? Do
fool
you learn
me twice?
What job do you go to and fail and leave with 50?
I just told. Well, no, the reports came out that he's not getting all of the 54.
Yeah,
I think
but he gonna fight
they
for it.
They settled between 20 to 30 million, according to the reports that came out today. Look, he needs to go to a place like Virginia Tech, and he needs to revamp his resume and his image, because the national media hates this dude. Like, they are taking every shot. And let me say this. I was disappointed, but I'm even more disappointed now, because there were certain people that defended him on his departure from Notre Dame and defended him to the point that they then turned around and threw shade at the hiring of Marcus Freeman.
Yep. See, I don't like that. Yeah.
And they're hiding right now, Left. They don't want to be honest about the fact that they did that, because they're hiding right now. They're real quiet right now, because what we knew showed up again. They were the ones, man, coming out publicly saying he's right about this. You know, he's right about that. Notre Dame will never spend the money. Notre Dame will never do this. Why are they doing it for Marcus Freeman? Why are they all of a sudden doing it for Marcus Freeman?
I mean,
why did Marcus Freeman take his players and take his program and get to the national championship? Why did that happen?
How is Brian Kelly any different than Harbaugh? How is he any different? Is because Harbaugh won it? Is that why?
How is Brian? Are you serious, bro?
From Michigan?
So are you saying Brian Kelly is just as good a coach as Jim Harbaugh? Because I'll end this podcast right now. I swear to you, I will end this podcast.
Jim Harbaugh was losing every year to Ohio State, not making no playoffs, mediocre teams, even cheated to win a national championship.
Do you believe the NFL is the highest level of coaching, Left?
We talking about college football. I'm only
No, because we're comparing resumes.
He cheated to win a championship. We not acknowledging that.
I just asked you a question. Are you going to answer the question or evade it?
Okay.
Is the NFL the highest level of coaching?
Okay, yeah.
Did this man not turn around the 49ers and take them to the Super Bowl as a head coach?
Okay.
When Brian Kelly can do that on the NFL level, then we can have a discussion.
Bill Belichick can't do it on the college level. He won 3 Super Bowls.
So now Brian Kelly's just as good as a head coach as
no,
Bill
I'm
Belichick.
College football is different.
Then,
Jim Harbaugh, like you said, resurrected the Niners and won a Super Bowl. Went to college football, was getting whooped for years, and had to cheat to win a championship. How are we not talking about that?
Left. Brian Kelly is no longer a top 10 coach in college football. He's not.
John Harbaugh left college football as a top 10 coach, but what was he before he won that championship that year? What was he with Shoelace and Devin?
Recognized as one of the top 3 head coaches in the NFL when he came to Michigan.
Bill Belichick is the greatest NFL coach of all time. And now he's about to get fired from North Carolina because it is a different game. And Jim Harbaugh had to literally cheat after Urban Meyer was whooping him for 10 years.
And I would take an actual coach that's willing to cheat to win over a dude that's fugazi and lying.
If Brian Kelly won a championship in 2012.
So do we admit they both are liars? Do we admit that? Do we admit they're both
cheated and gave other teams codes? That's the worst thing ever.
So he's a liar. He's a cheater and a liar, correct?
He cheated so hard that a game that didn't even affect him.
Marcus Freeman. You got to move on to Marcus Freeman.
I'm just saying
we are both admitting that they're liars. One cheated and lied, and the other one is fugazi and a narcissist and a liar and a finesser. Okay.
Both are finessers.
Okay, but I would rather have the finesser that actually wins. If I'm going to choose a
Brian
finesser.
Kelly is the winningest. Jim Harbaugh is not the winningest Michigan head coach.
Where's his championship, Left?
See, that's what I was saying.
Okay. Now what are you talking about?
If Brian Kelly won in 12, if Harbaugh lost, he was leaving regardless. It was.
I would rather have the gambler who possibly cheated and won 6 than the PED taker and cheater that won 4. Lucky Lefty Podcast. Lucky Lefty Podcast. Lucky, you heard what I said. Lucky Lefty Podcast. Marcus Freeman, ladies and gentlemen. This is how he opened his press conference today.
Back to just recapping that game, for the defense, when their best was needed, they got it done. And as you look, they played their best in the fourth quarter, and that's when we needed them to be their best versus a challenging offense. And so it was really good to see. Offensively, ran the ball really well, was pretty efficient in the pass game. Again, the challenge is always going to be how do we become more consistent? How do we win every play? Like that's the mindset that we have. And then special teams, again, game impacting plays as you look at the kickoff return touchdown by JD. But, we obviously got to continue to fix our in-game kicking issues, and again, things that probably don't show up as much in practice, but we got to make sure the things we're doing in practice take the field on game days, and we can't miss some of those kicks, extra points, field goals, or kicking the ball off out of bounds. We got to get those things fixed with urgency. And as I told the group, in all 3 phases, we have to continue to eliminate plays that beat Notre Dame. Like there's always going to be things that the opponent does to challenge us, but we got to make sure the plays that we beat Notre Dame, we have to continue to eliminate. Playing hard is never an issue. It's non-negotiable, but you always talk about win the interval. It's how hard you play, but then you got to be disciplined in your execution. You can't have one without the other, and we got to continue to work on those things. But as we went to the bye week, again, the challenge was to how do we elevate during a bye week? And I remind them it's not an off week, right? I get a lot of people reaching out and say, enjoy your off week. It's not. We just didn't have a game. We had to elevate during the bye week, and I was pleased with the way we prepared. We worked on consistency in our fundamentals that will then, again, determine more consistent play in our execution. And that's the thing we really, really focused on. Looking at different ways, also looked at different ways to improve schematically, utilizing personnel in different situations within a football game. We tried to attack those things. Some guys needed to recover that were beat up, but also find ways. Recovery is a way to get better, but also mentally challenge yourself. Maybe if you couldn't do all the physical reps. And we had some younger guys that needed to continue to develop that we had 2 really, really good days of practice. And then the defense took a little bit of time to do some Navy prep. As we know, we have them coming up here in a couple weeks. And so as we turn the page to Boston College, again, as you watch the film, it's a record that doesn't truly reflect the team. They've dealt with a lot of injuries. There's been some close games, amongst some other things. But as you look, number 3, the quarterback, they made a change to him the past 2 games, and he's really given their offense a spark. He's doing some really good things for their offense. And, it's a chance it's a Bill O'Brien coach team, which, again, I don't know personally, but, as I think back to him as a head coach at Penn State, the Texans, and now as Boston College, they play hard. They're fundamentally sound. They're going to be ready for a challenge on Saturday. So we got to continue to prepare this week and get ready for this opportunity we have on Saturday.
Yeah, it's all about how you come out, and we'll know in the first quarter if we made the bye week count or not. You come out slow, bye week was a waste. I mean, that's just what the natural feeling is, right? You need to come out on fire, considering we're in the midst of the season. This is our prime month of football. Usually in November, Notre Dame teams, regardless of who's at the helm, is pretty solid in November. This is where most teams become pretenders. And I wouldn't even say pretenders. It's just like you said, they all cannibalize themselves. I mean, we're even seeing it with Miami. They struggled against Stanford a little bit, but that goes back to what I was saying about Miami in the ACC. I'm like, just wait till they play teams that they are competitive with every year, because they just seem to, some teams just got their number. Like, they still got to play Georgia Tech. They play Louisville. Louisville had their number. Louisville had our number for a little bit, Just one of those teams that just play well within your conference. So I think that's something that they'll go through. But for us, this is our month where we shine. I think that comes through the fact that we have the depth, but we also have just a nationally recruited team. I just think nationally recruited teams work better, as we see from BYU even. I mean, I think a good amount of teams from Utah, but BYU has done a great job of just the physicality and just staying the course through who they play, because they're independent as well. But, it's one of those things where finishing strong, like he said, and how we come out this next game matters a lot. And the challenge is there. I think the style points and how we have to win and starting faster, we just got to play our part and win these games. And like you said, it's a playoff mindset and playoff focus within this month is getting ready for that. Because at this point, I don't really know how the chips are going to fall, considering you got rivalry week where everybody's playing each other. They're finishing their in-conference schedules. We might be number one just due to everybody having at least 2 losses by the end of November. I think the top, after maybe 3, or shoot it, because we're in there too, maybe after 3, everybody's going to have 2 losses. So then it's just going to be an argument at that point of, what losses count, what losses don't count, because Miami loses to Louisville, who is getting thrashed in the next couple of weeks. Then how do you value the Notre Dame win when Notre Dame is beating these teams? And, how does it all work at that point? Because do we value Miami that much or what? Like, so then that lessens the law or makes the loss more for us. But then you're like, we're beating the smithereens out of teams, but that Miami loss is on our heads. So how do we – I know we're going to be in the playoffs, but we might be at a – unfortunately, because how the rules are, it doesn't matter, because our best bet is to be 6, right? Because that's the first place we in. So it's like, what does it even matter? You know what I mean? And I know they can't keep us out of it, but if we finish regular season top 5, either way, Ice Bowl in December is what we're looking forward to.
Marcus Freeman was then on the tail of what you just shared about, we'll see early on in this game whether or not the bye week worked or had an effect. He was asked about whether or not they found out or have found out what the identity of this year's team is. And this is what he had to say.
I think it's again, what I'll say to start the season is its ability to run the ball on offense, create some explosives in the pass game because of your ability to run the ball on the offense. And defensively, we got to continuously stop the run. We got to stop the run and try to make a team beat you defensively, passing the ball. But you're seeing improvements in our pass defense through experience, through clarity, through many different things. And so, but we're always going to be a O-line, D-line driven program. And what does that mean is that we have to be able to run the ball, stop the run. And that's what I want our identity to be, and that's what we're showing, but we got to continue to improve there.
Consistency. It doesn't matter how many different ways you ask Marcus Freeman, how you try to shape it up. What's the identity of the team this year? The man told you on many occasions, this is an offensive and defensive line driven program. Even when we're not playing well, that is who we're going to be, and that's who we are. And so I think being healthy, getting healthier, and it's tough to do that when you miss quite frankly, the best run stopper on your D line, and then your best run blocker on your offensive line, and Billy Schrauth, it becomes a little difficult. But that's why you have the depth. That's why you recruit. That's why you develop. That's why you coach. And that's why you are Notre Dame under the helm of Marcus Freeman. So now Sullivan Absher gets 2 games. He gets 2 games to show, hey, I might be worth putting at that right tackle. I might be worth the left guard position next year if Charles Jagasaw goes out the right tackle. This is when Sullivan Absher, this isn't just, oh man, I'm a backup. No, this is where, like you said, Left, your door swings open at Notre Dame and stays open for a really short time if you don't take advantage of it. And so that is something that I think I look forward. We saw it with USC. I think a lot of fans, if we'll be honest, chat, lock in with me. A lot of fans panicked when they heard Gabriel Rubio was out.
Yes.
The day before USC. Oh, they were panicking. Oh,
Yes.
This is huge. This is big. And I'm not poo-pooing it as if it's not a big loss because he's been playing fantastic. But we literally said Notre Dame has 22 defensive linemen this year.
Yeah. Yeah, we got a lot of guys to go through.
If there's any year where it's specifically where they have more numbers, last year the numbers weren't as deep.
Yeah.
But they had 2 high-end guys on the interior.
Right.
This year they might not have those high-end guys.
But a lot of guys with talent.
But they have a lot of guys, and we're seeing a lot of guys come in and make plays when they come in.
Yeah, because you can rotate fresh. That's just as good as having a good player.
There you go. There you go. So when you get guys coming in that can make plays, all right, next man
it's like
up.
the Lakers. The Lakers are just rotating Marcus Smart and Vando and Austin Reeves contributing. I mean, this is beautiful. This is without LeBron. Just waves of guys. Waves. The depth is great in the West right now. I'm just saying, it's just related.
Man, you ever had a sibling that can be so brilliant and so good, and then in a moment can just go left, literally and figuratively? Go left. Just go left.
Have they not been looking like the Showtime Lakers these last couple games?
I haven't watched one bounce of the ball of a Lakers game this year.
That's why.
You're right. It's a waste of my time. It's a waste of my time. GTB question from Angelo 48 Bertelli. You guys think Lane Kiffin will pursue the LSU job?
Not if he's smart. I think he would. I mean, for what? For what? He's carved out a nice little, section in Ole Miss. I just think it wouldn't make any sense for him. It's different from a Kalen DeBoer in Washington going to Bama. But, I would. That's like Kirby going to Alabama. Would he want to? I wouldn't see why.
Let's hear more from Marcus Freeman. Sorry about that interruption about he left.
Great analogy. It was a great analogy.
He missed the boat. Notre Dame sits right 17th in the nation at 100 yards per game, 100.3 yards per game given up on the ground. Huge strides this year. We felt like it could happen because of that depth on the interior of the defensive line. We felt like, we might not know where the sacks and the pressure is coming from, but we felt pretty comfortable that they would improve against the run. Marcus Freeman was asked about that D-line and their improvement stopping the run.
They definitely have. they've always been good, pretty good at stopping the run. I'm talking as a collective group. What you're seeing is a more cohesive unit in terms of the pass rush, in terms of making sure that we play off of each other, right, and not have open vertical lanes where the quarterback can escape vertically and extend the play in the pass game. And so that's where I've seen a lot of improvement. They're doing a great job of stopping the run, but there's a lot of improvement in terms of our pass rush lanes and really keeping the quarterback in the pocket to letting other guys probably have success from that.
Front row on the left, Tyler Horka.
Marcus, the interior of the defensive line played pretty well against USC, even without Gabriel Rubio. So two-parter, how confident are you that that can continue with those guys? And then what is Gabriel's status moving forward?
Yeah, again, Gabe will be out this week. At some point we plan on getting him back before the season is over. I don't have a great timeline for when that's going to be, but we believe it will be before the season's over. And I do believe they'll continue to enhance. Like, that's got to be everybody in our program. That's got to be the D tackles. That's got to be the head coach. It's a mindset we got to continue to get better. And one is to have that mindset. That's the first thing. But two, then you have to have the ability to find the answers to help you get better. All right, you got to want to get better and believe you can get better. But then there's answers out there to help you get better.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's spot on. He talks about the collective. And that's really what this is about, though. The good thing is that we're used to losing a 1A type of player and having 1Bs, 1Cs step up. This is just falling into the plan that we used last year, or the formula we had of being a 2-way, 3-way rotational team. And this year we just have the depth to do it at a higher level where we really don't skip a beat. And like I said, and like you said, it's not to say that Rubio's impact is not missed, because he's been our best defensive our best defensive run stopper.
Mm-hmm.
So I think if anything, I wouldn't say it encourages, but it forces the other guys to step their game up, the Anyes and Elijahs of the world. And I think it's proven amongst the other parts of our defense that if we play together as a unit, we're going to be fine. And at least in better shape and good enough shape to win games. I mean, think about it. We're holding teams under 20 points. We're putting teams in predicaments where they're getting out of their own game plan and giving us turnovers because we're the point differential. And so I think with the position in which the defense is in, playing in a sense behind the offense, well, that's how it should be riding the rest of these games into the playoffs. These guys, with missing a Rubio, can grow up in a better structure and be a better playmaker when their time is called in the playoffs.
Yeah, I agree, man. I'm excited about what this defensive line is going to continue to do and how it's going to help aid that secondary improving. As Marcus Freeman talked about, they're getting better. The youth is getting better, snap to snap, and then they're getting healthy. And I think Jadon Blair, this is the thing about now you're in that area left where Notre Dame can really integrate some of their younger talent without losing a year of eligibility.
Right.
But the young players can play these last 4 games.
Yep.
And not lose their eligibility. So you can see a Jadon Blair, just an example, get some run, get some snaps, and still come back and have 4 years of eligibility left.
So it's 4 games at any time.
Yeah.
Okay.
4 games, regular season, 4 games. And I think the rule is that the bowl game doesn't count.
Well, playoffs count, right?
Yeah. No. I don't think playoffs counted. I think it's 4 games regular season, unless they change the rule. Yeah, Lucky Lefty podcast. So for everybody, we're going to say this so Left can hear it. They match up against the Boston College Eagles at Alumni Stadium Saturday, November 1st at 3:30 p.m. Eastern. The game will be on ESPN. You got that, Left? So you don't have to ask everybody where we at, what time we playing.
Man, right? I was excited.
I was like,
Yeah.
I don't want to tell Left it's a bye week. I don't like Left.
I was so locked in because I'm like, man, these games are terrible.
I like Left. We don't play today. There is no game.
Yeah, I definitely cold shouldered me. I had nobody responding.
We thought you were trolling, bro. We can't tell when you're being serious and when you're trolling. So the 5 and 2
I was really like, that's why I sent 2 tweets. I said maybe nobody saw this, but
the 5 and 2 Fighting Irish look to go to 6 and 2 against the 1 and 7 Boston College Eagles. The 28th meeting between the two teams. The series is 18-9 in favor of the Fighting Irish all time. And they're 6 and 4 in true road games against Boston College. It's the first meeting between Marcus Freeman and head coach Bill O'Brien for the Eagles. So, of course, Marcus Freeman is 1 and 0 against Boston College. So, yeah, it's going to be a good time, a good matchup. Good matchup. GTB question.
yeah.
Indy Milton fan says, what weight is Eli Raritan up to today?
Man, he can. I don't know, man. Wemby is an example of a guy that plays at such a tall height that's dominant, and how a 6-foot guy would play like that if they were their height. If I was 6'8", 355 like Eli Raritan, I would be so dominant. Like, I just think he's cheating us of his talent. What is he, saving it for the league? I think he can do a better job of effort. That's all I'm saying.
He is 6'8", 355 today, Indy Milton fan. You asked, you got your answer. He's 6'8", 355. Only on the Lucky Lefty podcast. D-Mont, Mr. Food Lover says, Left, what's your thoughts on Drake May and Bo Nix this season? Bo Nixon.
I mean, I guess.
I could have told you all he's about to hate.
That's not hating. I mean, it's just like you can tell those are franchises that are behind their quarterback. Let's put it like that.
The tide is starting to. I'll be honest, man. There's a lot of people starting to turn on Caleb Williams up in this city, bro.
I mean, but that's Chicago. Y'all turn on all y'all quarterbacks.
When was the last week? Name the quarterback we had. A good one.
Easy. Rex Grossman. Jay Cutler. What are you talking about? Jay Cutler. Listen to how the receivers talk about Jay Cutler. They loved him.
No, Jay was just a jerk. No problem with Jay on the football field, but don't ever put Rex
Grossman in Chicago.
Don't ever put Rex Grossman and Jay Cutler's. They don't belong in the same conversation.
Rex Grossman won the Heisman and he took out to the Super Bowl.
First of all, he didn't take us anywhere. He rode the coattail of that defense to the Super Bowl.
Come on.
Who are you talking about?
Come on.
Would you like to go over the stats in the Super Bowl for Rex Grossman? Would you like to go over the stats?
In the rain game? Okay,
you're right. Let's go to the NFC Championship game against the New Orleans Saints then. Let's do that.
In the cold?
I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that. Patrick Mahomes is going to the Super Bowl multiple times in the cold. I don't want to hear that.
But not in the rain.
Yes, he has.
It was raining the entire game in Florida.
I just said the NFC Championship game, which, by the way, it was 45 degrees and clear that day. I have the weather forecast right here. The Chicago Bears won 39-14.
That's a hell of a game. Over
Drew Brees, Reggie Bush, and the rest of the New Orleans team. Rex Grossman was 11 for 26 for 144 yards. So how did they get to 39 points? The quarterback was 11 of 26 for 144 yards. Well, I'll tell you how they got there. Thomas Jones, 19 carries for 123 yards. Oh, we're not done. The other running back, Cedric Benson, you remember him? 24 carries for 60 yards. As a team, they ran for 196.
Come on, man. Come on, man. If that's how you gonna do it, then what is CJ Carr, the Jeremiah Love?
Don't do that. Don't do that. Do not disrespect CJ Carr. Do not disrespect CJ Carr.
Great quarterback with a run game. That's what you telling me. That's all you told me.
First of all, he's not a great quarterback. He's never been a great quarterback.
He's going to y'all Ring of Honor.
You lies. The lies you tell.
Y'all not gonna hoist his jersey up, y'all.
The lies you tell.
You're not gonna hoist his jersey up. Come on, SD.
Hoist it up where?
In the Ring of Honor, the Bears Ring of Honor.
They get hoisted up at the Amoco station on Roosevelt Road.
That's it. That's great.
Sean Stewart says it best. Grossman wasn't even mid.
How can you say that he went to the Pro Bowl? He went to the Pro Bowl.
In the NFC Championship game, he was 11 for 26.
In the freezing cold.
It wasn't freezing cold. I just gave you the temperature. They had the temperature right here at the top.
What did that feel like in Chicago? That feels
Left,
like 20.
left. Stop lying. You played football in Ohio. You know darn well if you were playing in 45-degree weather, you would be perfectly happy with that. You need to stop lying. Don't be fugazi like your coach like that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. On the way out, Eric Spadell, we thank you for the super chat, my brother. Continue to be blessed. Everybody continue to be blessed as we get ready to head into November. This year is flying by. It's about to be November this weekend. That is crazy.
Where y'all meeting at this year? What house y'all meeting at this year?
Oh, Mom's. There's no doubt about that. Mom's for Thanksgiving. Are you kidding me?
I thought y'all rotated.
No, we rotate on Christmas.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Thanksgiving is always at Mom's crib. Can we please bring back the wishbone T formation with all these running backs that we have?
I think that if that's a challenge for Denbrock in the bye week to get a little bit more creative using our better players. I think Aeneas could have had more. I think, like you said, those 4 games, even though it doesn't impact him necessarily, or does it? Because he really hasn't played all year. But I think their use of – because these next 4 games, guys, we can win convincingly. And I think it should be, dealt with how – who was it? Utah played their true freshman the whole, second quarter and on? We should have some games with Kenny. Well, I mean, if we try to get CJ and the Heisman, I guess. But we should have some games with those guys getting in and getting the experience, especially the running backs. I think the healthier we can keep Jadarian and Jeremiah Love heading into these next potential, 7 games? It's a lot of games left. I think if we took 3 or 4 off their plate in terms of just giving them first half action and we get the other team out of here, a perfect time for those other backs to just start getting their feet wet and really getting into that mode, because they're going to be the guys for the next year to have to lead off. Because I'm sure both of them are gone, Jadarian and Jeremiah Love.
Yeah, another thing that stood out from Marcus Freeman's conversation today with the media is that he was honest. They started preparation for Navy and Pittsburgh. Like, you always start prep.
What else you gonna do?
No. Well, Navy, you guys did this. You started Navy preparation even during fall camp.
You do drills.
Yes. Yeah. Navy is kind of like a small build to get ready for them. Pittsburgh, I'm gonna be honest, Lef. I watched their game against North Carolina State this weekend.
Wasn't impressed.
I wasn't impressed at all. Their freshman quarterback, he's talented. They put up points. They put up points on North Carolina State. North Carolina State's awful defensively.
Yeah.
But North Carolina State put up 34 on their defense.
Good grief.
That's when I was like, uh-oh.
I'm not any freshman quarterback versus our defense I don't think it's gonna go well. Unless
I don't think so either.
It's just
I don't think so either.
nothing you can really do. I mean,
Yeah, I don't think so either. I
not
agree,
no true freshman, none of that. I mean, we as a team shouldn't allow. I mean, that should just be you should be salivating that we gonna, get on him. It's gonna take one of them old guys like a Pavia or something to get us.
They ran North Carolina State ran the ball for 161 yards.
And they really was having a trouble running with the back that's pretty good. Like their back in North Carolina State's pretty good.
Yeah. So once again, you're talking about a freshman quarterback that threw the ball how many times? 48 times against North Carolina State. Please let him throw the ball 48 times against Notre Dame. Please drop back and throw the ball 48 times. Please. Dude, when they play Pitt, this is when Al Washington goes to the D-line like, this is y'all week. This is your week to eat.
I just don't think teams have enough opportunity to get that many plays in like that. I mean, our time of possession on offense is crazy.
48 passes for a true freshman? That's crazy.
Who do they think they got?
And shout out to him. He was 28 of 48 for 423, 3 touchdowns.
Not enough.
Their running backs averaged 3.8 yards per carry and 3.2 yards per carry.
Not enough.
They did have 2 wide receivers go over 100 yards. And Kateris Hicks and Kenny Johnson. You can cancel one of those.
Not on our cornerbacks.
Because 15 is going to cover one of those. So you can
a good day for one of them is like 50. That's if you just making plays. Like, come on.
Yeah.
If Mekhi Lemon, who's most likely going to be in the Biletnikoff contention, had 50-something yards.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be a long day for the lesser.
Yeah. Lucky Lefty podcast. So guys, we will dive in tomorrow and really start talking about the offensive game plan going up against the Boston College Eagles and the continued trend of this defense. One of the tidbits I dropped tonight is that we are in this area where you might see players like Jadon Blair, who finally 3 weeks ago got on the depth chart and really has been pushing for time. And now there's really no danger in playing him now. Like you can play him, keep his eligibility for these 5 games that are remaining. And you might see some other players, especially as they push for more time during the bye week. Yeah, it should be pretty good. Lucky Lefty podcast. So for Left SD2 mics, don't forget, subscribe on YouTube. We appreciate your hitting the like button. X, TikTok, Instagram at Lucky Lefty Pod. Courtesy of Bleav Network, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. Tap in over there on the audio side. And then we're presented by FanDuel, FanDuel.com. Go ahead and download that FanDuel app. But right now, with the over-under total of 58.5, Notre Dame sits as a 28.5 point favorite. That's right, 28.5 point favorite over. Yeah, man. And Jeremiah Love is still, he's at plus 3,000 now. Plus 3,000.
What do you think he has to do to win it? That's the question.
5 straight games of 200. It would have to be something crazy like that, bro.
5 straight games of 200 is crazy. Yeah, you would have to do that.
Man, I mean, if he did that, he would definitely be in New York. But minimum, he would have to put up 300 this week, put up 300 against
That's what I'm saying. He got to do something.
300. I mean, not 300. Put up 200 this week, 200 against Navy, 200 against Pitt. At least 3 of the 5, he has to go big. 3 of the 5, he has to go big. 3 to 5, he has to go big.
Touchdowns in each game or something.
Yeah, something crazy. Yep.
But I just don't think Notre Dame's built for a non-quarterback to win it.
So for Left SD2 Mics, we'll see you guys tomorrow for another edition of the Lucky Lefty podcast. Enjoy your Monday. Continue to love each other. And most of all, make sure that you spin it different.